Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan Medal video. In this video we are going to be taking a look at the challenge to beat the first stage of the Fighting Spirit of the Saiyans and Pride of the Wicked Bloodlines event with no items utilized. So obviously there have been some challenge missions that have been handed out for the Fighting Spirit of the Saiyans and Pride of the Wicked Bloodlines event. And so we're going to obviously take them on. If you want reference to my original run of the challenge, you can see it in the top right hand corner. But yes, in terms of the event, in terms of the very first phase, we face 3 enemies. They can stun, or they are immune to stunning and sealing. They're in tech and physical type. They're not too tough. Generally speaking, they should be probably very easy to handle. And then in the second phase, we take on Strength Cooler, who's immune to stunning, sealing, attack lowering, and defense lowering. And then we take on AGL Cooler, who's immune to stunning, sealing, attack lowering, defense lowering, and can also evade attacks. So that is the obvious challenge here. Now, the requirement is to not use an item. So we've gone with a build that can probably get there pretty easily. We are using a Goku's family-based team. So we're using a Goku's family team, which generally speaking is pretty solid. We have a lot of great defensive options on this team, and typing-wise, because it's a strength into an AGL phase, generally speaking, units like tech units, AGL units, and obviously int units are generally going to be quite fine taking on the second and third phase. So we kind of built around that. We've got obviously the Super Saiyan Goku, the LR1 from the Cooler movie, great unit. I've got him at 55%, and he's obviously great. His ability to guard, his defense stacking abilities, his revival skill, all comes in handy, all very, very solid, and all's going to help us out to get through this event without using any items. So he's obviously very good. I don't like to use him as the lead. I don't like to use a powerful comeback team, because having 2 Gokus means the other Goku can't activate his revive ever, which I feel like kind of hinders the team. Then alongside him, we obviously have a nice little kind of great linking partner and our leader of our team, which is the Strength Super Saiyan Goku / Super Saiyan Gohan Youth. Just a fantastic unit with attack and defense of 180%, an additional 59% when performing a super attack in Goku's form, high chance of evading super attack as well. Once you perform 3 super attacks, Goku will be able to transform into Gohan, and Gohan's also pretty solid with his ability to guard and his multiple abilities that will stack up the more he gets hit within the first 3 turns. So obviously, I think for the most part, Gohan is pretty solid. I think he's really quite good, and having 2 of him is always very decent. He's more than fine the first 2 phases, and if you keep him on main rotation, generally speaking, you should be able to get him to transform into Gohan by the time you're at the AGL phase. And then if you can do that, obviously, generally speaking, you are quite fine, because at that point, you're then quite solid, obviously, in terms of your rotations, and when you have the guard active, you basically are going to be fine in the AGL phase, because you don't have any other strength units. You just have the Gohan, the Ultimate Gohan, who we'll obviously talk about just now. So there's that Gohan, which is great. We've also got a couple pretty obvious choices here as well. Tech Super Saiyan God Goku, obviously with his 77% damage reduction against movie bosses, just being a prime pick, like, as a unit. Then you also have the Ultimate Gohan, or the Mystic Gohan team, who obviously transforms into Ultimate Gohan, just with his guard ability, and his ability to guard, his ability to stack defense quite well. He just basically is very solid, and because of that, he makes a great option for the team. Then alongside him in his rotation, because we actually do run him as a rotation, we have the Power to Protect Gohan, a unit that also stacks his defense very, very well. We also have his active skill, which we can utilize if we ever get into trouble, just as a way to regain some health, increase our turn's defense, and just basically have a pretty good time. Obviously, he's super helpful for the strength phase, but he stacks relatively quickly, so he's generally quite a solid option, I want to say. And then I think the final member of the team is the Ultimate Gohan, the strength one. One of the better EZAs that they have done for all the DFE units. This Gohan is just very solid. His attack and defense of 158%. He gives 50% defense to all superclass allies, makes him a great floater. He gives entrusted world category allies 30% attack, which is great. And then we have the high chance to guard all attacks, which is good. And then guards all attacks and launches an additional attack that has a high chance of becoming a super attack for 4 turns when guard is activated. So kind of in that way. Greatly raises defense on his super attack as well for 1 turn. So overall, just a very solid option. Obviously, there's a risk that his guard does not proc against AGL Cooler. That is just something you kind of have to take a risk on, I guess. But it's not a huge risk. And yeah, generally we try to just keep him out of harm's way, obviously, wherever possible. Very similarly, if you can't transform the Goku Gohan, it's also best to keep them out of harm's way, which is why you'll see ideally would have liked to keep Gohan on rotation to continue stacking and use his active skill, but I'd rather just push him to the back end to tank the normal attacks very well and not risk overt damage to Goku Gohan, especially considering we'll be able to transform Goku Gohan next turn after they fire off 1 more super attack. So that's just kind of the play here. Generally speaking, this run went very smoothly. There was never really a point in this run where it felt like we were in a tight situation. Obviously, this Goku's family team now, I think as a team, is a team that can struggle a little bit, but because the pacing of the fighting spirit, at least these earlier stages, is quite fair and quite easy, I think this team really does come into play quite nicely. The Goku's family team, I think, is very strong the later it gets into events. You have a lot of stacking of defense, you have a lot of guard activation skills, you have a lot of great abilities, but it can take a little bit of time to heat up, like 2 or 3 turns. You want to get the Gokus to fire off super attacks, you want to get obviously the Gohans to stack once or twice, you want to get the Goku himself to stack. So it's a very strong team once it gets going. Like here now at this point we have pretty much no risk to die because of how strong our team is. So yeah, obviously I just think as a team we are very strong. I mean, Goku's not going to take any damage, 47k, nothing crazy. We got Gohan here who didn't get a super attack off because of my bad key management, but still only took 59k. So because this guard activated, now that guard will be activated for 4 turns. And notable other units you could use here in this team, quite a few. You use the Tech Goku Gohan LR, you could use the Xeno Goku, you could use the MUI Goku, you could use the LR Kamehameha Gohan, you could use the Int Namek Goku, you can use the Strength Namek DFE Goku. There's a lot of replacement options here that I think work on this team perfectly fine. Just isolate whichever unit you are using and try and match it up best with the replacement. But yeah, generally speaking, very, very, very straightforward event. So yeah, I had a good time. The first 2 stages are not that hard, and although they are category boost units, it's really not so bad. But yeah, this one was relatively easy. Obviously, you can use different team builds, but I found that the Goku's family one gave me a lot to play with. Great leader skill, great stats, great everything really. But yeah, that's basically it from me. I hope you guys obviously enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Until then, take care, stay safe, and bye.